Hi everybody, sanibonani. Welcome to my channel. Igama lami uNtando Mdletshe, and on this channel siyaye sifunde iy'ncwadi ebhalwe ngolimi lwethu lwesiZulu bese siza la sokhuluma ngazo lezo y'ncwadi, sixoxe iy'tori esuke siy'fundile, sixoxela laba phela abasuke bengenaso isikhathi sokuthi bayifunda incwadi nalabo abasuke benqena nje ukufunda. For those who like Zulu books, guys, make sure you are subscribed to my other channel, Zulu Books by Ntando Mdletshe. That's where we are moving all of our Zulu books content to. So make sure you are subscribed. But even if you don't really listen to those stories, please go and subscribe just to support the channel. Siyabuya futhi sibuke ama-reality shows ethu ala eMzansi bese siza la sokhuluma ngawo lama shows, senza ama-reviews or ama-recaps bese sikhuluma any other issues avukayo mangabe lama shows sesiwabukile kwi-TV. Guys, I do hear isikhalo senu about speaking more English. I did promise ukuthi when it comes to my reviews I will try and do that. I cannot guarantee that amagama esiZulu here and there will not come in ngoba phela I am umZulu, so bear with me there, but I will try ukuthi ama reviews ngiwenze in English. But those who like strictly Zulu content, this is obviously move our Zulu content to the other channel. So that's why it's very important to make sure that you are subscribed to all of the channels. Also, those who like to follow my journey as a mom, please be subscribed to the channel called Raising Sipho Sethu. She is back home, she's doing well, she's recovering. It's still a challenge, but we've trusted God and He has taken us this far. So we are hoping ukuthi kusazoqhubeka futhi ngendlela ebekuvele kuqhubeka ngayo. So please make sure you are subscribed to that channel as well if you want to follow that journey. Today, you guys, we are going to be doing episode 1 with season 3 live with Kelly Khumalo. And I know some people wanted me to do a review of that interview that Kelly Khumalo did. Guys, I am not able to find the full interview. It's of interest to me too to watch that interview because I saw just the clips and I told the interview. But I think honestly, with the reaction about the things that Kelly Khumalo said in interview, and I think people are missing a very important point, which is that she did that interview a day or two before the premiere of her new season of the show. So I honestly think that it was a strategy from her team to market Kuzana isho yakhe because it was just before the premiere. So a lot of the things that she said were shocking, and I think the intention really was to do that so that maybe people can come and watch the show to see who's the things that she says in the interview that she said them as well on her show. I really just think it was a marketing strategy, you guys. But when I get the interview, I will watch it and I will do a review when I can, okay? But I won't go into Senzo. Senzo May was case. Anyway, it was the first episode today, you guys. So we're all interested to see what's going on Kelly Khumalo behind the scenes while ikesi yokubulawa kukaSenzo Meyiwa is going on in our courts. And yeah, and I guess a lot of people are watching for that reason as well. Some of us, because I love Kelly Khumalo, guys. I mean, I know there's a lot happening, but I do love Kelly Khumalo. I'm fascinated and Ilokuzani personality came. And also the way that she has handled this whole thing, the fact that she hasn't crumbled and, and got into drugs or something because it's too much pressure, it fascinates me. I want to watch her. That's the reason I'm watching. So it starts with her, I think at the beginning she's doing like a photo shoot or some kind of a video. They didn't explain what she was doing, but she was working. And then later she's going to do an interview with Relebohile Maboja. And it was interesting to me, the outfit that she was wearing. It's like she did the photo shoot and went straight to doing the interview. And I was like, you're going to the interview really wearing like that? I'm not going to celebrate. And the back chicks were all out, and then she did the interview. We all know that Enole was very good with interviews with you guys, and she's good with making her guests very comfortable as well. We've seen her on Unpacking. Let's unpack her talk show. She does a very good job with that. And she starts by talking about how she got a little bit of a backlash when she announced that she was going to do an interview with Ulokuzana, with Kelly Khumalo. So she wanted to address that. And she asked Kelly Khumalo, how are you coping with all of the backlash? It's funny, you guys. The way that she answers is quite interesting. She says that I'm not coping, I am living. And then she goes into the same thing that she goes into when she did that interview, where she says she feels that people are taking things out on her because a lot of the people have been where she is, where you've got your loved ones murdered or something done to them, but the justice system is not working to quickly get the people that did whatever it is that was done to the person, and they are arrested and all that. So the injustice, she said that a lot of people have experienced the injustice of our justice system. So she feels that people are taking it out on her because she is a celebrity. It's a case that a lot of people knew, so they're taking it out on her. This is very similar to what she said in the interview clip that I saw. That's why I'm saying that that interview was actually a promotion for her show more than anything. And she said that yes, because I am Kelly Khumalo, of course people are going to come for me. People have more interest in this case. Honestly, I think it's a big argument right now. Are people interested in this case because Kelly Khumalo is involved in it, or are people involved in this case because it's a Senzo Meyiwa case? And I think you will have to. It's an ongoing argument, really. Who was more famous than who, and also who made who famous? Was Senzo Meyiwa? Did Senzo Meyiwa become more famous because he was dating Kelly Khumalo, who was in the entertainment space, or did Kelly Khumalo become more popular because she was dating Senzo Meyiwa? One thing I know, you guys, is that for me personally, ngingayena umuntu olandela isoccer or sports, I knew Kelly Khumalo before I knew Senzo Meyiwa. And then Senzo Meyiwa, even the fact that Senzo Meyiwa is the goalkeeper of whatever team, I knew that because it was being talked about because he was dating Kelly Khumalo. So me being somebody that doesn't like sports that much and doesn't watch sports that much, for me, Usenzo was introduced because of Kelly. But I imagine that for other people that watch sports a lot and follow soccer players, for them it might be opposite. But I would doubt that anybody would say that I never knew who Kelly Khumalo was until she was dating Ulokuzana Senzo Meyiwa. But I guess maybe there are people out there who will feel like that. So, I mean, she felt like she was a bigger star than Ulono Senzo was. I think Vele, celebrities have that ego thing about them, and I think that's how you make it in the industry. It's not a surprise for me that she takes herself as being a bigger star than Senzo was. But I do understand the argument of people that loved Senzo and knew Senzo from playing soccer, that for them they feel like she was the one that was made into a star because she was dating Senzo. We can argue until, I don't know, the end of the year and 10 years or whatever about that. So it just depends where you come from with that argument. And so obviously they're shooting the show. She's basically in the new house because I actually watched one episode in the old season. She's in a different house. It was a beautiful house too. She's in another beautiful house. I don't know if she bought a new house or she was renting that one and now she bought, or she owns that one and owns this one. She doesn't explain, but she is in a new house. She's very lucky, you guys, because she lives with her mom who also takes care of her kids. I think that is like the best thing that you can have when it comes to having somebody that takes care of your kids. If your mom is still young enough and fresh and can be able to take care of your kids, it's the best arrangement that you can ever have, because who's going to love your kids more than your mom loves your kids? That's the safest place that they can be. So I think Kelly Khumalo is very lucky to have her mom do that for her. Her mom is very young as well, Lusa fresh. She's receiving calls la umjolo nai. So she talks about the fact that their relationship with her mom have improved a lot. I think last season they were going through counseling and Awonya because there were some issues that they were going through. When I watched, because I didn't watch the whole of last season, but the episodes that I watched, I really felt like Kelly is going through a depression. But it's because possibly, let me say that she was possibly going through depression. But I think because abantu abadala, sometimes that term depression, I don't even know what depression sithini ingcindezelo yengqondo in Zulu, because asithathi njengento eyenzekayo a lot. We are still getting used to it as abantu abamnyama nje, especially as umZulu. And I wouldn't think ukuthi it would be quick for me if my mother was going through depression for me to identify it in my mom as a depression. But really, honestly, when I watched last season's episodes with her mom and they were doing that counseling, I did feel like she might possibly have been going through depression. But they do talk about the fact that now things are better, they're better between them in their relationship. Also, Umawake says that she is feeling better herself. And then while they're sitting there with the kids, and Nukel is trying to find out what's happening with her kids. She receives a phone call, which is funny because Kelly can hear what it's a man's voice, and she's like, we are Jolana. Anyway, her mom is still young, guys. I think that if she has that partner, if it's Jolelo Mama, Jola Mama, nothing worse than an older woman and his own Jolo. So I thought it was funny. Ukeli says that honestly, she says recently, Christian, which is her son with Uchuchub, has been the happiest that he's ever been. And I liked hearing that because, guys, if you watched earlier season, he really was going through a lot. And so I'm hoping and really it's an indication things have gotten better between them. And then when she talks about, because she has two kids, she has a Christian and she has Utingo Lwenkosazane. Guys, I thought that those both the names are quite nice, you guys. I love quite beautiful. I love Amagame Nganzake. I like Utingo Lwenkosazane. Those who don't speak Zulu, Utingo Lwenkosazane is rainbow. It's such a nice name. I love Ikamalenganyake. She says that a lot of the time she says Usenzo, maybe you are on her daughter, because that's the daughter that she has with him. In fact, her daughter looks so much, her kids look like their fathers, because even Christian does look like Uchuchu a lot. And he even speaks like him. And also she says, the same thing about Utingo is that obviously she's not going to have that experience with Ubabwaki being raised by Ubabwaki because he's not around. And the saddest thing is that she had seen how Usenzo was as a father. Apparently, he really was a good father. He was a father that wanted to get involved. They were showing pictures of the two of them. So I think it's sad, you guys, but it's life. I'm sure she will. It's something that she will have to deal with. It's something that it will be Tingo's journey. It really is unfortunate that for her, unlike some of us who might have lost our fathers when we were younger and we were able to deal with that pain privately, she's going to deal with it publicly. She's probably going to know a lot of the things about her father from the media before she even finds out from the family. That is a sad thing, I think. And also just the fact that Putin was going to be dealing with that conflicts, because everybody wants to know where they come from. She's probably going to want to know her family, but there is a big conflict between Umawake and her father's family. So I'm sure that's going to be a challenge for her to maneuver around that, because it's not easy to build a relationship with people that not only do they not like your mother, they despise your mother. So how are you going to be able to build that relationship with them? But at the same time, that is your father's family. So she's going to have a big challenge when she's growing up. It's the same with Christian as well, because also Ukel doesn't get along. She says that she has had the worst experience when it comes to the in-laws, and yeah, she doesn't get along with Jojo's mom, but that is Christian's grandmother. So yeah, they're going to have a challenge. Not only the challenge of just them growing in the public eye, but also having to deal with those relationships between their mom and their families, and being able to manage that is going to be a challenge. Anyway, the next thing it was they're having this big gospel concert. I think I had heard about these concerts, big gospel concerts, and people had been going on about how can she be doing a gospel concert, what kind of a concert, Kelly Khumalo with a gospel concert, whatever. But anyway, she does this concerts. Thank you, Mshaba was there performing as well. It looked like it was fun. It was all powerful. Somizi was there to support his friend. And Kelly does say that this was the one time when she was the most nervous to perform. So it wasn't an easy performance, but she says when she got on stage, something overtook her. Anyway, you guys, I'm not a performer, so I don't know what happens to people that perform when they're in stage. But it seems like everybody after the performance felt like it really went great, and it looks like everybody felt like something took over that room. Guys, it was a gospel concert. You know what happens. Abantu basuka yithunywa bakhulume ngelimi. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know, but it went well. I liked Utu Somizi was there to support his friend. And there's so much similarities in their lives. Somizi Beno Lokuzana, Beno Kelly. And also it's just like Ama shows up, or there's something similar about them. I don't know if they have similar producers as well. There's things that are similar. Kushoka Somizi and Ishoka Kelly Khumalo. Anyway, later on, maybe it might not be later on, it's another day, maybe it's even a month later, I don't know. But Wanda Baloy, who is Kelly Khumalo's friend, is meeting with Kelly Khumalo. She's upset because Kelly is late. I guess ukuthi kuba umngani nama-celebrity kuhlupha lapho abantu bazofika late to your appointments. And they get some drinks in this place. Where did I say they were? In Tenton. Oh yeah, but they get drinks and then they decide they're gonna go upstairs in that same venue they were at. And while they're getting in the lift, they meet somebody who was rude to them. We don't see what the interaction was with the guy. We just know from what they said the guy was very rude. They were very angry by what he said, the guy, but it doesn't become a big deal. So then they start talking with her friend. She's talking to her friend. That conversation about the in-laws, how it really has not been easy for her when it comes to the in-laws, and she hasn't had the nicest people as the in-laws. And she talks about the Mother's Day. Remember, on Mother's Day, Ujub had posted on social media a happy Mother's Day to Kelly Khumalo. You know, despite their differences, he had said, you know, happy Mother's Day to her. I don't know, you guys, because that message came after that whole scandal of Job saying Kelly Khumalo uses Umotu, and there was a whole thing, and he ended up almost losing his job. I think he was suspended from Moja Love Udona Job. So it kind of did feel like it's just a display for Job. Why didn't he send a private message? But then I thought maybe he does not have the Kelly Khumalo's number. And then she says, okay, I guess she was surprised. But then, and as far as I know, Kelly did not reply to Kelly Khumalo on social media. But she says, following that, one lady who has this who has a big butt, approached her on social media, sent her a private message and said, Omulemo is my friend, meaning Uchuchup is my friend. He's always talking about his child. Would you please find it in your heart to forgive you and let him see his kid? And she got upset about it. I would get upset about it too. Like, if you want to send a message, just send a message. You know, why send somebody? Even if that person was not sent, I don't think that it was her place to do that. That's the way Kelly Khumalo is like, why to Melela Ngamaslay Queens I also just didn't get it. Like, why would that lady do that? You know, was it necessary for her to send that message to Kelly Khumalo? So she's upset about that. She's like, if Ujuju wants to talk to me, he can talk to me. He doesn't have to send the Slay Queens to me. Then there's a conversation about the documentary, because I really did wonder when the documentary came out, guys. I've not watched the documentary, and I've made a conscious decision not to watch it. Partly because I just don't want to get into that thing of asking myself because every time you see something about case Kasanzo Mayo, you get more and more questions. There's no answers, you get more and more questions than anything. So they talk about a documentary. I did wonder, honestly, if the production company had approached Kelly or any of her family members to do a documentary, or it was intentional on their side that they were going to tell Senzo Meyiwa's side or Senzo Meyiwa's side only. I wondered about that when the documentary came out. She does say that she was approached to do the documentary. They even wanted to use some of her music in the documentary, but she decided to refuse to use the documentary. She felt like it didn't make sense for her to be in the same documentary with the people that didn't want her, didn't like her. In fact, she says ukuthi Senzo Meyiwa at some point she had said ukuthi she went to inyanga eyofuna umuthi ukuthi akhiphe asuse uKelly Khumalo. I don't know whether uthi ukususa as in ukubulala uKelly Khumalo or uthi ukususa as in ubefuna ukumsusa empilweni kaSenzo Meyiwa, but she says that's what umama did. So would it ever make sense for them to be in the same documentary? She didn't think that it made sense. And then she goes into saying ukuthi uma kaSenzo acts the way that she acts towards her because she's angry that her husband cheated on her. That statement, I found it to be unnecessary. I didn't find it to relate to anything, but I guess for her, she's convinced it's because of what happened to her and her relationship that she feels the way that she feels about Kelly Khumalo. I felt like that statement was not necessary to say. And then she talks about the fact that, not spiritually, she is protected and you can hardly do anything back to her. So even if Umaga Senzo Meyiwa went to that Sangoma or Nyanga or whatever and asked to do whatever, it wouldn't have worked because she is protected by Abantu Abakhulu. Spiritually, she's very protected. So that was never going to happen. And I think I liked it. Her friend was asking her questions that a lot of us that watch her really would like to know when it relates to case Senzo Meyiwa. But I could also see the discomforts from her friend because, listen, you know the things that your friends want to talk about. You know the things that she doesn't like to talk about. At the same time, you are on this show as a cast member as well. So you do have an instruction on what the producers are how they're trying to direct the show. So you get your own direction on what you need to get from the sit down with Kelly, and she's also had hers. So you want to do your job the way that you're supposed to do your job, but also this is your friend, So I could see the discomfort, but she did push a little bit, and I like that. She did push for Kelly to give answers because she asked questions about the fact that, so what is going to happen because whether you like it or not, Utingo at some point is gonna have to have a relationship with Abantu Balasense. What are you gonna do? She does say, okay, listen, that is her family, but I don't wish that for her. Those are not nice people. There's only one sister-in-law that she said had been nice to her, but then after Usenzo passed, she turned on her. So, and then she does say that statement, guys. So Abantu bakaSenzo didn't really like love Usenzo. They just wanted money. Here's the thing. I think that statement might be partly true and partly not really necessary because I think that I don't think that they didn't love her. It's impossible for them to not love their son, for his mom to not love her son. I think she did love her. But I do also know that, if black text is a real thing, sometimes it can look like really my family doesn't love me. All they want from me is Mali, Noguting Bonje, and all of that. And since he was a big soccer star, maybe they expected his money was endless and they had those demands from him, but that was their son. But I don't think that there was an indication of they didn't love him. She does say Kelly Khumalo that he really was like a cash cow to them. Vele emakhaya guys kwenziwa njalo if unemali vele ama-phone calls ozowathola uzobucelwa imali. It's not about how are you doing, we're just checking on you. Akuphelile impuphu, can we have imali? Ini, can we have imali? That's what happens all the time. She says Khumalo, one thing that they don't know with family sense is that they've actually had her own money because a lot of the times she would give them all of his money, the family, and he would and then he would ask her her for money, and he would have to help her with money because imali yakho beyithumele ekhaya. But that could have been usenzo just being a player, and I don't believe that he took all of his pay from being a soccer player and gave it to his family. I don't believe that. All of it. Maybe when my girlfriend money because he knew he had this girlfriend who had the money, right? So anything is possible there, but that's what he should believe. Yonke Mali yakhe went to his family, and so a lot of the times that he would end up having to support him. But again, we actually go to they don't know bona family, they don't know which they have actually had imali yakhe ulokhuzana okay. So when it comes to Tingo, guys, I didn't know this, but apparently umndeni waka Meyiwa bake bamphika uTingo, they bamphika uTingo bathi akuyena wabo. So there is that as well. That's why Kelly says ukuthi when she grows up, she will know things like that because she will let her know this family actually denied you as ingane yabo. I think that was horrible, guys. I do think that even if you don't like your son's girlfriend or whatever, you can't be the one to say that this is not a child because you don't know what they get up to, at night. So yeah, I wonder what would make them say ukuthi ingane akuyona Senzo. And yeah, that's why I say, mina ukuthi uTingo being Christians, I really going to have a hard time growing up in this country because there's just too much. There's just too much out there. And but she does say and Usenzo was a very peaceful person. So I guess just to keep the peace, he would do whatever it is that they would want from him ekhaya, and then interesting ukuthi ulokhuzana Kelly Khumalo would take care of him. Listen, you guys, I mean, it just depends where you stand with Kelly Khumalo. For me, I'm always willing to listen to what she has to say. There are times when I feel like she has no reason to lie about, certain things. But I guess I do know that there are people that feel like everything that she says at this point is a lie. I did raise my eyebrows about that interview, the things that she said in that interview, but it wasn't so much what she said because I knew that the show is being premiered, so she is promoting the show, but it was how she was. She wasn't her normal Kelly self. It almost like or maybe Papalas. Maybe I took something to help me maybe calm down and it just was a little bit more than it should be. It felt like that for me, So for me, the shock was that it was killing at Agasi Uye, Agasi Uye. But yeah, I'll take the time when I get the full interview to watch and maybe we can review it on this channel. Anyway, you guys, there is the episode 1 of this show. I mean, it draws you in. I don't want to lie, you guys, it draws you in. I don't know anybody that would watch this show and say that they hate it. I think it would be mainly because they don't like Kelly Khumalo, and it's hard to find anything positive on the show when you don't like the person that the show is about. So yeah, that was the episode for today. Tell me what you think about this show below, guys. Anyway, you guys, don't go into the details about what happened to censor this and that because honestly, I can't even respond because I don't follow a lot of the things that happen with this. I don't like getting into too deep about the details about what happened with Senzo Meyiwa as Mayor. So I would like for our focus to be mainly on what happens with the show and what happens with Kelly Khumalo and the kids and her mom as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before you share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers in Tanaka.